Hello everyone, I hope you had a good holiday. Mine was pretty good. It was pretty low-key, as I usually prefer my holidays, because, you know, I'm a little introverted and all that. But the end of the year is a very interesting time because I've become more so introspective than normal. I start thinking about what I've learned over the past year in preparation for the obstacles that I may encounter the next year. And one thing that really crops up in my mind a lot are relationships. The entire year, almost, of 2017, I spent in a relationship, and it had its pros and its cons, but it ended up ending, and it ended rather amicably, but still it kind of left me unsettled in a variety of different ways. And it's just interesting experiencing relationships as a gay man, getting closer to 30, and thinking back on how relationships were for me back when I first came out, say when I was 18 or 19 years old. And there are some large consistencies that I've noticed, despite thinking that, you know, time would mean things would change a lot. And the one consistency that I encountered is that there seems to be this collective state of brokenness that all gay men seem to have. And I'm not saying that we're all, you know, in disrepair and shattered and just hopeless. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say at all. I'm saying that we've all been victim and survivor of these stereotypes, stigmas, and horrible impressions of our community that our culture creates. In about 2 days, I'm going to be 29. I was born on December 30th, 1988, and I came out probably in November of 2007. So I've been out for about 10 years. I've experienced my handful of relationship experiences, and in almost every situation, one person or another or both in the relationship have been broken in some way. And whether it be having a horrible coming out experience, whether it be being sexually assaulted, whether it is not being able to make some sort of emotional connection, whether it be having body image insecurities, because we all know that the gay community is extremely shallow when it comes to body image and expectations. I have experienced most of these difficulties, and almost every person I've ever been in a relationship with has experienced that as well. Maybe not all of them, but one or two. And add to it, men who are afraid of making any sort of commitment. That is a huge one. That's one that I'm actually kind of realizing the older I get. When I first came out, I went through a couple huge heartbreaks, and I kind of grew up quickly. I grew out of that state of brokenness quickly, even though part of me still feels as though I have a scar from, you know, say, being sexually assaulted and things like that. Like, those things are still influential in my life because it's made me more cautious. It's made me less eager to be sexual with people. And that is one common stereotype about the gay community, is that a lot of men are very, almost over-eager to be sexual with others. I've just come to realize that whenever I've been in a relationship over the past 10 years, it's gotten to the point where I am the one who is kind of being the emotional fixer, because that's the only role that I know, and that's the role that the individual places me in because I am a good listener. And I'm going to do a video later about being the fixer and the not so good things that come with it. But that has been my strength and weakness when it comes to relationships over the past 10 years. And in many ways, it's made me feel broken frequently. I'm a very empathic person. I'm very aware of other people's emotions. And when somebody goes through something difficult, I want to be there for them. And that's kind of what becomes of the relationship. And that's what determines that person's level of being attracted to me too. And I know that now that I've gotten through a lot of this brokenness, and I have managed to, I could, say, get my shit together, I notice that I attract a lot more men now than I used to. Because when I was 18 or 19, I never really attracted anybody. I wasn't physically attractive to people. I had a personality that often promoted insecurity, and now that I am more confident, know who I am, and have a direction in my life, a lot of guys I've noticed try to connect with that in some way because they crave that themselves. And the fixer in my mind's like, oh, well, I want to help them achieve that, but really I can't do that because they have to do that themselves. And that's what causes a lot of contention in relationships, because they may not be ready for my level of commitment. I want to be with one person. I want to be with that person for the rest of my life. I'm ready to settle down in a way, you could say. And a lot of guys aren't, because of all of these difficult things that we've gone through. These difficult things kind of make us nomadic when it comes to relationships. We feel like we can't root ourselves and create a foundation with one other person. We have to continue to find something new because that's all we've ever known. And that is, I think, where that state of brokenness originates from. There's just so many things that contribute to it. And I don't think we should be ashamed of feeling broken or ashamed for having, insecurities about difficult things that have happened to us, because those are the things that's going to give us strength. And those are the things that's going to help us draw awareness to these things, build connections with people, and move forward. So that's in part why I want to do this series, Gay Relationship Struggles, because there are many struggles in gay relationships and in the community at large, but most of them are not discussed because people don't want to admit that there are problems. But truthfully, if we don't draw attention to those problems, how are they going to get fixed, and how are we going to better the overall mental health of our community? Anyway, thank you guys for taking the time to listen to me. I hope that you stay tuned for the rest of the series. I'm going to be talking a lot about my own personal experiences in relationships as examples, and other people that I'm friends with as examples as well. So I appreciate you taking the time. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Share this video around, and check out my outro portion of the video for links to playlists, the subscribe button, and other videos. You guys have a great rest of your day.